Hey guys, welcome back to NBA 2K Shoots for another tutorial. Today we're doing layups. Have you ever wondered why 2K let us manually control our layups, where we can just press square anyway? That's because every situation requires specific layup to have better results. So what I'll do is I run you through each of those layups by quickly showing you how to do it, and where and when is the perfect time to use it in-game. We're not going to cover much on what buttons to press on each layup because you can just do it in 2KU anyway. We'll cover more about what 2KU don't teach us, which are principles. So let's get into it. Aside from shot meter and rating, here's some other factors that can affect your layup success. First will be the defense. Proper placing where to execute the move affects your result, so make sure to know where is the best place to use it. I'll discuss it to you later. Next will be the badges. Moves like Eurosteps and spin gather layups use fancy footwork badge, then floaters or runners use teardrop badge. So add these to your consideration before you decide which to take. So if your player doesn't have teardrop badge, try not to do much of teardrops, same as the others. Another factor is the actual player. Having a fancy footwork badge doesn't mean it's gonna be good to do Eurosteps and spin gathers. It still depends upon the actual player. So if you're a guard, use spin gathers more, and if you have long strides like Giannis, use Eurosteps. I'll show you these. Spin gather to the left, Eurosteps to the right. I try to execute them at the same point, right there at the elbow. You can notice that the spin gather covers more ground and is more faster than Eurostep. Both of these moves use fancy footwork badge, by the way, so if you're a guard, try to use spin gathers more often. Now with Giannis, you can see that Eurostep is more explosive because it covers more ground and a bit faster, so make sure to know your player first before you execute a move. Now let's go to the first move, floaters or runners. Before we proceed, make sure to set your joystick settings to absolute, so no matter what camera you use or what direction you're going to, it's gonna be the same direction for your joystick. Now for the moves, you do floaters by going to the basket and flicking right stick down, no R2, pressing R2 gives you some other moves, and if you do it too far from the basket, it will be like a normal jump shot. So just like in real life, we usually do this against taller defenders, and for the right placing, we don't want to execute it near to the defender because he'll swat that one away. Another bad place to use it is this one. Yes, you have better distance, but you can't do it against a good defender. He'll still block it. And you can't shoot it early like in this spot because it will just be a normal jump shot. But if you're using Kyrie and the defender is like 6'6 to 6'7 and not really a good defender, you can probably pull this one good. Now for the best situation to use this will be like this one. Great distance with the defender, not too far from the basket, so even with a great challenge, they can't block it. Next move will be the spin gather layup. You do this by going to the rim. Now you can press R2 with this, then quickly tap square once, then press and hold square once again to take the shot. The taps must be quick. Let's do it again. Now for the placing, this one is a really flexible layup. Most of the time it will bring you near to the rim. It doesn't really have a definite pathway. So if there's an empty spot around the rim with a guard and I'm slashing, I use this move. First play, I went inside. Now that's the empty space, so Kyrie will spin his way through the spot for the end one. Next one, that's the open spot. You can notice it was different path compared to the first one, but Kyrie will try to find a way to that open spot for the lay-in. This is my favorite so far. You don't need to think where the ball is, like if it's left or right, you don't need to think where to flick that right stick. Next one will be the Eurostep. You do this by going to the rim without R2, and if the ball is in the right hand, flick right stick to the lower left. And if the ball is in the left hand, it will be the lower right. I assume that you kinda know where's the best place to do it, so if there's an open spot diagonally to the rim, do it. So that's an open spot. Giannis got that long strides for the layup. So if you're using Kyrie type player, I recommend to do the spin gather in this case. But since Giannis is just too long and got a fancy footwork, we take Eurostep with this one. Next one will be the Cradle. You do this by going to the basket without R2, then flicking the right stick lower left if the ball is in the left hand, and lower right if the ball is in the right hand. This layup is my go-to move on the fast break or ISO plays. Best time to do it is when the defender is on your side and there are no help defenders at the rim. Why? Because the downside of this layup though is it's easy to get stripped by the help defenders. The layup animation is just so slow and it only contains the on-ball defender. Especially online, defender can time you real good for the block. As you can see on display, defender is on the side, no help defenders, animation is slow but still a 7% coverage. Now on the next play, got a real advantage on my on-ball defender, but there's a help defender at the rim. Now James will do his 2 slow steps and we got blocked. Now for the last move, reverse layup. We do this by running through the baseline. You can press R2 if you want, but release it when you get near to the rim. So if you're on the left, flick right stick to the left. Now the best place to use it is when you're on the baseline and that spot is empty. So just a recap for everything. First, know your players and badges. Second, analyze the defense, then perform your move. And here's the recap for the defense. If it's like this, pull a floater. If you have open spots at the rim, you can do Euro steps or spin gathers. If it's a fast break or no help defender, pull a cradle layup, and if you're running baseline and this spot is empty, do reverse layups. You'll notice that if you play real life basketball, it's pretty much the same principles, right? But of course there are some minor difference. And I really recommend not to use square button alone because every situation, you can pull a special layup anyway, which have better results. Unless it's a super open fast break. So yep, that's it for this tutorial. If you like the video, please click that thumbs up button. And I have plenty of tutorials in my channel, so try to drop by. And don't forget to subscribe for upcoming videos and happy gaming guys!